Hi everybody, welcome back to our video series on exploring AWS. Now, one of the things that's going to be on your mind as you are, lighting up that lab in AWS or, whether you're actually moving that application, whether you've moved it, whatever it may be, is going to be the billing. Now, you've already gone through the cost calculator. You've already gone through what you should expect to be charged and what you should expect to see on a monthly or a quarterly, yearly basis. But you need to make sure that you're within your budget constraints. And if you're going to go over that billing, if you're going to go over that monthly cost or whatever you expected, you're going to want to know that in advance. So you're also going to probably need to provide some kind of reporting to your upper management to say, hey, this is how much we're using on a monthly basis, right? And if your upper management happens to be your wife, like me, you're going to want to make sure that you can prove to her that $800 charge on the credit card was not you. So if you come up here to your search field, by the way, you are going to need an AWS user ID and password to be able to get into your account and see how much you're being charged and what those different services are. When you log into your management console, if you do visit the billing page often, you're going to see that here in your recently visited services. So it just makes your life easy. You can just click on billing. If you haven't gone there yet, or it's something that you're new to, again, you're exploring, come up here to the search field and just type the word billing. What's going to happen is AWS will go ahead and query for you and just give you the billing page right off the bat. So you can just click on that. Now, when you get to the billing page, when you get to the billing dashboard, it's going to give you a nice little chart over here on the right-hand side. It's going to tell you what your billing is to date. So you can see right now to date, the middle of February, my charge is $233.82 to date. That's obviously going to go up because we're in the middle of the month, right? But it does break down exactly what those costs are. So I can see that, $157 of that is going to be to my RDS database. $60 is going to be to my EC2 instance and so on and so on and so on. Now, I want to be able to get down a little bit deeper in this. This is a great feature. This is great to just be able to see what's going on. But I want to be able to explore the costs. I want to explore exactly what I'm being charged, what services, how often, etc. So up here on the left-hand side, you're going to see cost calculator. You're also going to see a link right over here that says cost calculator. If you're too lazy to go over there to the left, you can just click here. I'm lazy. I'm going to click cost calculator over here or explorer. Now, the next page that's going to come up is going to give me more of a breakdown. So it's going to give me some different ideas. It's going to give me some different charts. It's going to give me, what my current monthly cost is versus what my expected or my forecast is. But again, I want to be able to dive a little bit deeper. So I'm going to click this button over here that says Explore Costs. Now, this is going to give me a new chart, which is very, very cool. We're not going to spend a bazillion hours here, but there's a lot that you can do here. There are a lot of different reports, and I would encourage you to come in here, play around. I would encourage you to decide whether you want to include certain fields and what you want to see. At a high level, I can come in here and I can select the different time range that I want to see. So right now I'm looking at basically all throughout the year. So essentially from today, February 24th, from January 1st of this year. And I'm looking at a daily breakdown. I could change that to be a monthly breakdown if I wanted to, but for this video, it's just fine. You get the idea. Now, one of the things that I want to convey to you is in this chart, it's really hard for me to see the breakdown of services versus cost. So what I want to do is I want to click this button here that says service. When I select that option, what's going to happen is the chart is going to re-render and it's going to break down statistically what I'm being billed for and what that looks like from a graphical perspective. So my relational database service, my RDS service, where my backend database is for my web application, we can see how much per day we're being charged for that. So you can see you can see that total cost of $10.19, and that's pretty consistent across my my everyday. Now, there were some times here at the end of January where I took that down, erased it, and rebuilt it. And built a new one in early February, but you get the idea. And each one of these services is going to be color coded, so all I need to do is basically look for that color, and then I can download that to a CSV file. So if I have an upper management staff member that wants to see this, and obviously they don't have an AWS ID and password, I can download this data. Now, you can also see this based on region. So suppose I have some of my services in different regions. I can go and I can see, well, are these different regions versus, one region, what is that, right? So again, multiple different things that I can see. Now, if you're using tags, so in other words, if you've gone in and you've tagged your different environments, if you've tagged different services, you can go in and you can look for those tags here if you want to. Now, another thing that I want to point out to you, again, I'm not going to dive into each and every single option. I want to keep these videos down to about 5 or 10 minutes, is the linked account option. So what are linked accounts? Well, if you have an organization where maybe you have different business units, where each business unit is going to have their own AWS account that they're responsible for, you don't want to have 25 different bills that your finance department has to deal with, right? You want to have one bill that you pay AWS that is your organizational bill, right? So Acme is your company. You want to have one bill for Acme, right? You don't want to have 25 bills for Acme. You want to have one bill for Acme, but you want to be able to have each business unit or each different organization, maybe even department. Your finance department may have their own, or maybe a different developer team may have their own. So you can have different AWS accounts that are all linked to your organization account so that you have one bill. And you want to maybe break down, hey, is business unit 1 using more than business unit 2? And how does that cost break down? You can select linked accounts, and what will happen is the chart will re-render and break down what account is being used the most and what does that billing cycle look like. Now, if you have run a lot of reports in the past, those would show up here under your recent reports. You can come in here, you can click new report, and then you can go ahead and you can create new reports that maybe you want to go and you want to run on a scheduled basis. And down here on the left, you have all different menu options for what were your purchase plans. You can go back to the billing console. You can look at any anomaly detection. So for example, if you have a all of a sudden, you expect a certain amount, and all of a sudden you shoot from $400 to $1,200, and that's, an anomaly. Maybe you want to get alerted on that. You can do all these different things. So within the billing dashboard, there are a lot of different options that you have. There are a lot of different reports that you can have. So again, here's another breakdown of that chart. I just went back into Cost Explorer. You can see that I have it set to the last 6 months. So I've changed exactly what I'm looking at on a monthly basis. And you can see that this is exactly where I have different services here. You can even see that I got a refund for some of the services. So the billing page is really very, very thorough. It's a very important feature within AWS that you should be familiar with.